Let's get into the par 5 questions. Monty, do you want to intro it?
Yeah. I'm Monty Scott, and this is the par 5.
Monty's been oddly quiet this podcast. He's normally not this quiet, Andrew. He's actually the star of this podcast.
Yeah.
He's the funniest one out of the three of us, and he's been oddly quiet, so I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah, so sorry you missed the Monty experience today.
Don't worry about it. Listen, just sack him off and I'll do this every week.
Perfect. Excellent. We're just getting more co-hosts as we go. Okay, Andrew, question number 1 of the par 5. You mentioned you've played all around the world, really. What is your favorite golf course?
Royal Portrush.
Yeah.
Yeah, just purely because I've played it twice and I've been very lucky. I've played Mihas over in Dubai, and I've played in Portugal, West Cliffs in Portugal, which is a phenomenal course. But I think Royal Portrush.
What is it about it?
Links on the coast. It's unforgiving. It's 5 different types of weather in one round.
It's right on the sea, huh? Holy cow.
My God. You're putting on I think it's the 5th, you're putting on the 5th, and if you overshoot the green by 10 yards, the ball is gone into the beach. It's gone over the cliff down to the people sunbathing, and it's just one of those where you kind of go, I'm very lucky to have played this course, you know?
Yeah.
I think Royal County Down is a close second. But I think it's too hard. Royal Portrush, if you can stay straight, you can really have a great day. But Royal County Down, there's too many blind shots.
Yeah.
And it kind of annoys me a little bit. Sort of like, yeah, golf is hard, but you got to show me where I'm going. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, obviously, if you play the course a lot, you know where you're going. But Royal Portrush for me, it's just because it's had the Open there, Irish winner. It's very I took my cousin to play there, and he before he took up golf, he was a Gaelic football player, so he's played in front of a lot of people sports wise, and he's also played soccer, and he's won an Irish FA Cup medal and played on TV and stuff like that, and he had trials for Premiership teams in England. And he texted me that night and he said it was the best day of sport he's had in his whole life.
Oh my God.
Really?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Like, so it will stay. Like I've played it twice. The first time I played it, I was just phenomenal. The second time I played it with Gary Murphy, the former European Tour player. He arrived with 2 other guys in a helicopter.
Jesus Christ.
There's actually a picture of that on my Instagram, me standing next to the helicopter. I think people were like, Jesus, Andrew, comedy's going really well for you, isn't it? No, I drove up because there wasn't any space in the helicopter. So it was I was there putting, and the helicopter was just coming in. You know?
Yeah.
But they have like helicopter area places for helicopters to land, because people come over from Scotland, they come up from Dublin in helicopters, rich people, like.
Yeah.
Like the amount of, and when we're there, there's always, you know, North Americans there, you know, they're like, oh my God, my great grand, like, no, give a shit, man. Pay your money. Like, pay your money, lose your fucking golf balls, and take your photographs and get out of me way. I'm playing this. So
we don't get to,
But I'm sure if I went, you know, I'm sure if you ask me in 2 more years what my favorite golf course it might change again. You know, it's so, you know, it's like, who's your favorite comedian? You kind of move around things, you know?
Yeah. We don't get to play that many great courses around here just because there's not a lot, but like we do have Glen Abbey close to us, which is a Jack Nicklaus design course that's hosted the Canadian Open countless times and was the site where Tiger hit that famous shot out of the sand on 18. He hit it like a 6-iron from 212 yards or something like that over the pin. So I got to play that. I played it with Darryl actually, but the first time I played it, I was sort of in awe of being on that kind of course. Just knowing who's walked it and whatever. And it took me a while to kind of settle down on when you're playing these courses. Do you get caught up in that, or do you just
Oh yeah. like I played Royal Portrush, and the night before I played it, I watched the final day's coverage of round 4 of the Open that year. Lowry won it, is actually on YouTube.
Oh wow, yeah, right.
So I watched it, and I get to the course, and I go, how did it fit the crowd in? Because it's not as big as you think it is. And I was like going, where did they put the grandstand? Because this is not as big, but on telly it looks phenomenal.
Massive, right?
And then if you look at, you know, I was kind of skipping through it and watching Shane Lowry come down the 18th. He'd won it by 4 or 5 shots.
Yeah.
And you see the big grandstands. And then I was coming down the 18th, and I was like going, oh, I see where they put the grandstand now. Oh, you figure it out, and
that's great.
Stuff like that, you know. So
you can put together your ideal foursome with a caveat: no PGA or LPGA players. Who is rounding out your foursome?
Can I pick live players?
That is a very smart answer.
We're gonna say no.
God, who would I pick? I'd love to play with Donald Trump.
Okay.
I thought Hitler was going to be our worst answer, but
I'd love to play with Donald Trump, and I would just lie all the way around to him. I'd be like, you know, I'd say, oh, what'd you get in that hole, Donald? And he'd like, I got a par, and I went, 6, was it? And I just annoy him. I'd love to play with that. I don't like the guy, but my point is I'd just love to see how much of a narcissist megalomaniac he is. I'd love to play with Donald Trump. I'd also, who would I like to play now? Who would I like to I'd really like to play with a sports guy from Cork. You might have heard of him. I don't know. Soccer. He used to play for Manchester. That guy called Roy Keane.
Oh, Roy Keane.
Yeah, Roy Keane. Yeah.
A very angry man.
Yeah, right.
And my mom met him at a wedding once, and my dad was there, and my dad had his golf clubs in the boot of the car, and my parents said to him, like, oh, do you play golf? And he just went, no, I don't have the patience for it. So I'd love to play with him just to see him get fucking furious. And I'd also like to play with, I really would like to play with Bill Burr, because I know he plays a bit from his podcast.
Yeah,
I know that he goes to a range the odd time from when I listen to the Monday morning podcast. So I'd like me, Bill Burr, Donald Trump, and Roy Keane. So 2 lunatics and 2 comedians.
Well, it's following very closely. We had a Canadian comedian, great Canadian comedian named Damon Schritter on the podcast, and his choices were Jesus Christ and Hitler, and then he also chose Bill Burr so that he could ride in the cart with Bill Burr just to observe Hitler and Jesus.
Oh yeah, just
together.
Watch Bill Burr just be like, look at that fucking prick. just go on with him. Hey me undies, get 2 for 1 on Hey me undies.
You know, it's funny talking about Donald Trump, because when Jack Nicklaus was going on about, you know, how golfers should love Donald Trump because of all he's done is for golf. Right. And all these people were be like angrily tweeting about how famous Donald Trump is for lying about his scores. And they're like, how does Jack Nicklaus even condone such behavior? Like, that is the behavior you're upset about most. Donald Trump is him lying, saying he parred a par 4 when he didn't. Like, come on.
Oh, it's anyway. I mean, I'd say Jack Nicklaus has taken a few quid in the years off him, you know.
I would say so. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna skip over question 3 because it revolves around a bar cart. We know you don't drink.
You don't do that here, lads.
Yeah, all good. So everyone, when you go to Ireland, don't expect to drink or have a bachelor party on the golf course. What's either the angriest you've ever seen someone on the golf course, or you have the choice of answering, how do you stop from losing it on the golf course?
So how I stopped, I don't get angry when I play on my own because I'm on my own. I only get angry when because if you're trying to play well. I've changed I said this earlier about trying to just have a good mood, just to try and stay in the same mood. That's the key thing for me. The angriest I've seen somebody was, this is a good one. I was 15 and I was playing with my dad on the Saturday competition in the course that I was a member of in Cork called Monkstown Golf Course. And we were playing with guy that my dad knows. So I didn't know who the guy was. Like, so I'm only 50 now. I'm only learning the game. Now I played for 3 years from the age of 14 to 17. And then I took it back up when I was 30. I'm 40 now.
Wow.
So I've been back playing on and off for 10 years, but the last 5 years have been proper.
Yeah. Focused.
Like I play it until if I don't hit a golf ball at least twice a week, I'm pissed off, you know?
Right.
So we turn up at the first tee. It's a par 3, 180 yards downhill, quite a straightforward par 3. We get up. My dad said something to the guy, his mate, his mate. I don't know what he said, and it was so long ago. He probably told me what he said, but I can't really remember it. Said something anyway, and then the guy just was smoking a cigarette and just got the cigarette and like flicked it up in the air and just turned around and said, "Oh, F off, you fucking piece of shit," to my dad. Or it's some, I think he said it maybe more under his breath, if you know what I mean. But anyway, racked up his clubs and stormed off. We didn't even get past the first tee. So when you say like, so we're standing there on the front tee, your man's walking back into the clubhouse, right? And I'm 15, like I'm 15. I'm just like, what's going on? You know, like, so anyway, my dad said, sorry, you know, fuck him. We'll just play the two of us. So we played around anyway. And the Sunday morning, my dad is up there again. I'm not up there, but my dad sees him. And my dad then had a Barney with him and just said basically like, don't ever embarrass me again in front of my son. You know, I'm out playing golf with my son, like father-son thing, you know, that kind of thing. And the last time I saw that man was at my mum's funeral.
Whoa.
A couple of years ago. It was the next time I saw him. And he came in and he was shaking hands with the family, you know. And I went, oh, here comes the guy that fucking star. I never played golf with him. So like, I was like, I know you from the golf club. Yeah, you walked off the first tee, man. I never even played with you. You know. So that's the most angriest I've seen someone on a golf course where they walk off before they hit their first. You imagine what he would have been like if he double bogeyed the first.
Okay.
I just can't remember exactly what it was about.
Yeah.
But I remember he never hit a shot.
It's probably better you don't know what it was about. Because it just gets to
I
like.
think it was something really trivial.
Probably, yeah.
And he just snapped.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. Your favorite golf moment, and this could be either a personal golf moment that you experienced or something you watched on TV. What is your favorite golf moment?
I have two. Number one, I was at the British Open in 2000 and I think it was 13 or 14, and it was in Hoylake in Liverpool. And it was Tiger Woods was playing, but he had those years where he just was no good for years. Yep. Well, he was still amazing, but he wasn't winning. On one of the par fives, so obviously imagine crowds gather at tee boxes and they gather at greens and along the fairway. So I was walking down anyway on my own, and I just sat for 2 hours at a par 3 and on the tee box, and I just seen so many amazing golfers come through. But I found this par 5 and thought, I'll go down here, say like the 15th or something. I can't remember what hole, but go down. And I hate being around crowds.
Yep.
So I thought, you know what I'll do? I'll go halfway down a par 5 and I'll watch the second shots. And some of these guys will be laying up, but they won't even be going for the green. But it might not be that busy. And it was only a Thursday or a Friday. Thursdays, where it was round one. So imagine still crowds, but not massive crowds. So I go down anyway, whatever way it is. Anyway, I figure it was really quiet, but I could see the crowd way ahead. But sure, lo and behold, there was a rope, and in behind the rope there's a little bench, and obviously you can't go in the rope, you know.
Yeah.
But I went, fuck it, I'll go in the rope. There was nobody around, so I go in. I just sit on the bench like this, and about 10, 15 minutes later, I see a lot of crowds, and who's teeing off with Tiger Woods? But didn't he drive his first shot into a tree, and didn't he put a second shot 10 yards from me?
Oh my God.
So I'm still sat. Now you imagine, as he's coming, there's people coming ahead of him. So there's crew, there's photographers, there's crowds. So I'm now sitting on this bench, and the crowd start kind of gathering behind me, and the stewards, and no steward asked me to move. So Tiger Woods is 10 feet away from me, and his caddy at the time was the New Zealand guy.
Oh, Stevie. Yeah.
Steve Williams.
Yeah. So he's doing the wind and he's doing all that. So it was just me and Tiger Woods in this. Now, I'm just sitting there, and there's people like maybe 10 yards behind me looking at me going, who the fuck is this guy just sitting on a bench? But Tiger Woods, I'm telling you now, guys, like it was the length of 3 cars. That's how far away he was from me. And like he was chatting away to Steve, and he's like, you know, we're looking at 261 in off the left and all this kind of stuff. I just sat there and I just watched him. So that, and he took the shot and he walked off, and I just went, "There you go now."
Wow.
That's
amazing.
It was just, but there was people around as well. Like, and the other player, I can't remember who it was. Obviously, it hit a straight shot, so I think he was just short of the green or on the green or something. So Tiger Woods was playing his third, like out of the trees kind of thing. Like so, and I was inside the row, and nobody asked me to move.
That's amazing.
I just sat there like that because I was no threat to anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
You're not going to come up and ask a guy in his own to move. I'm just sitting there like I had like a little Tupperware of sandwiches. And, me and Tiger Woods just shooting the breeze. And the other one was the Irish Open in 2001. No, the Irish Open 2001 was held at Fota Island in Cork. And I was at the 18th. Colin Montgomery won it. And I was at the 18th, and I went to a playoff. No, Colin Montgomery won it the year one. It was the second year. I know the guy's name that won it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But it was going to a playoff. So you know that when the playoff, when the last players come in on the 18th, there's like a 10-minute gap before the playoff players go back out on to play 16, 17, or 18, or 1, 2, and 3, or whatever the playoff holes are. The Irish one was going back down 18 again. So the camera crew needed to fill. So I'm just standing there, and I think for whatever reason, the camera just picks up my face. Right. So next time just there anyway. And I don't know him on telly. Like. So I'm just there looking down, scratching my head, bored. But they're using me for a prolonged period of time. And the reason I know that is, bear in mind that 2001, we only had Nokia mobile phones.
Oh, yeah.
Smartphones. We had mobile phones, but we didn't have smartphones. And I didn't know it until after the event, but I had like 5 or 6 missed calls and about 10 texts. You're on Sky Sports, you're on Sky Sports, you're on Sky Sports. So they were my 2 favorite things, because I remember I was up at the golf club then a couple of days later, and the guy in the bar was like, I saw you on Sky Sports on the final Sunday. The camera was on you for about 20 seconds. I was like, you know, so I got right next to Tiger Woods, and I got on Sky for the golf. That was basically
amazing. That's so great.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's so funny.
Keep in mind that tree on the left side of the fairway, and something distracted him.